Georgia is not only a favorite place for filmmakers, but also a land of haunted legends. Cities like Savannah and Atlanta are filled with spooky locations where famous movies were shot. From the ghostly halls of the Fox Theater and Oakland Cemetery in Atlanta to the eerie Bonaventure Cemetery and Mercer Williams House in Savannah, these sites mix Hollywood magic with chilling paranormal stories, making Georgia one of the most haunted filming destinations in the USA. Now we will visit the most haunted film locations in Georgia. Number 1. Rhodes Hall. Rhodes Hall, often called the Castle on Peachtree, is one of the most haunted and atmospheric filming locations in Georgia. Built in 1904 by Amos Rhodes, this Romanesque revival mansion looks like something out of a Gothic movie, with stone towers, arched windows, and a chilling presence that makes it perfect for both horror productions and supernatural storytelling. Because of its haunting beauty, Rhodes Hall has been featured in TV shows and films such as The Vampire Diaries, Teen Wolf, and Constantine. Crews often say its chilling atmosphere doesn't need special effects. It already feels like a haunted set. But the real terror lies not in the scripts, but in what happens behind the scenes. Actors and directors have reported terrifying encounters that still send shivers down their spines. During the filming of The Vampire Diaries, a young actress claimed she heard children's laughter echoing in the hallways when no one else was on set. When the crew investigated, the sound grew louder and was followed by a childlike shadow darting across the corridor. Some believe these are the spirits of children who once lived and died in the mansion. On another shoot, a director working late in the upper floors of Rhodes Hall reported the unsettling sensation of someone watching him. When he turned, he saw a dark, human-like shadow standing at the end of the hallway. The shadow vanished instantly, but when he returned the next day, his camera equipment was found scattered across the room, as if invisible hands had hurled it in anger. Other actors tell of freezing cold spots appearing out of nowhere, often during emotional scenes, as if unseen forces were reacting to the drama being filmed. Several members of the production crew from Constantine claimed they saw flickering lights and felt hands brush against their shoulders. One actress screamed when a heavy wooden door slammed shut behind her without explanation, trapping her inside for several minutes until help arrived. Perhaps the scariest tale comes from a night watchman who worked security while a crew packed up their gear. He swears he saw a woman in a Victorian gown glide down the grand staircase, her face pale and hollow. Thinking it was an extra left behind, he followed her, only for her to vanish into the stone wall. Later, actors who stayed late reported seeing the same ghostly figure moving silently past mirrors, her reflection always lingering a moment too long. Rhodes Hall is not just another film location. It's a place where the veil between the living and the dead feels razor thin. For those who step inside to act, direct, or film, the ghosts of Atlanta's past often become part of the story, whether they want them to or not. Number 2. Oakland Cemetery. Oakland Cemetery, resting in the heart of Atlanta since 1850, is more than just a graveyard. With over 70,000 souls buried here, including Civil War soldiers, politicians, writers, and ordinary families, it has become one of the eeriest and most atmospheric film locations in Georgia. Its crumbling mausoleums, Gothic tombstones, and winding paths make it a natural backdrop for the screen. Because of its haunting charm, Oakland has been featured in films and shows such as Driving Miss Daisy and Zombieland. The cemetery's visual beauty is striking, but many cast and crew have discovered that they weren't alone during filming. While filming Driving Miss Daisy, crew members reported an unsettling chill whenever they worked near the Confederate burial section. One night, an actress rehearsing her lines in a quiet corner suddenly froze. She later confessed she saw soldiers in torn, blood-stained uniforms standing among the headstones, watching her silently before vanishing into the night fog. She refused to rehearse alone again, shaken to her core. During Zombieland, actors joked that the cemetery's natural eeriness made their zombie scenes feel terrifyingly real. But soon, laughter gave way to fear. One actor said he felt his leg grabbed during a take, only to find no one behind him. Another crew member swore he heard whispers in his ear, repeating the word, "Leave," again and again. The whispers grew louder as he tried to ignore them, forcing him to flee the set in panic. Camera operators also told strange stories. Lights would flicker without reason, equipment batteries drained faster than usual, and some shots captured unexplained shadows darting between gravestones. When they replayed the footage, faint human figures could be seen in the background, figures that no one remembered being on set. The most terrifying incident happened late one evening after filming had wrapped. A group of extras lingered near the mausoleums, joking and smoking, when one of them screamed. A woman in a black mourning dress was seen standing at a distance, her face hidden beneath a veil. Thinking she was part of the crew, they waved, but she slowly lifted her head to reveal hollow, glowing eyes. Before they could react, she faded into the stone doorway of a crypt and disappeared. Oakland Cemetery is not just a beautiful backdrop for films, it's a place where the dead seem unwilling to stay buried. For actors and filmmakers who step into its haunted grounds, the line between performance and reality often blurs, leaving behind chilling memories that linger long after the cameras stop rolling. Number 3. Old Pink House. The Old Pink House in Savannah is a jewel of southern charm by day, but by night it transforms into one of the most haunted film locations in Georgia. Built in 1771, its pastel pink walls and colonial design hide centuries of dark history, making it irresistible to filmmakers searching for authenticity. The Old Pink House has appeared in productions like Something to Talk About and various historical documentaries because of its atmospheric beauty and period-perfect interiors. Yet, for actors and crews who have worked here, the film experience often came with something far more chilling than the script. During the filming of Something to Talk About, an actress reported a sudden drop in temperature while shooting a dinner scene. As she raised her glass for the camera, she swore she felt an icy hand grip her wrist tightly. Startled, she dropped the glass, cutting her palm. Crew members rushed to her aid, but she kept insisting that someone, or something, was holding her down. No one else was near her at the time. Actors have often described seeing the ghostly figure of a southern gentleman in colonial attire roaming the tavern below. One actor rehearsing lines in the tavern late at night said the man approached him, tipping his hat politely before dissolving into mist. Shaken, the actor could not bring himself to continue shooting in that room. Others have reported hearing clinking glasses and laughter in the empty bar, as though phantom guests were still dining centuries after their deaths. A cameraman captured one of the most terrifying moments during a late-night setup. As his lens swept across the candlelit dining room, the camera's monitor clearly showed a woman in a white dress sitting at a table, staring directly at the lens. When the crew turned, the room was empty. The footage was later reviewed, but the mysterious woman had vanished from the recording entirely, as though she only wanted to be seen in the moment. Perhaps the scariest experience happened to a director working upstairs. While reviewing scripts, he heard the sound of children's footsteps running behind him. When he turned, he saw small shadows darting across the hallway and into a closed room. He opened the door expecting a prank, but the room was empty, just a chilling draft and the faint sound of giggles fading into silence. The Old Pink House may dazzle visitors with food, music, and beauty, but for filmmakers and actors, it is a location that never forgets its ghosts. Behind the elegant walls lurk spirits that refuse to leave, turning every performance into something more than fiction. The cameras capture the living, but the house itself belongs to the dead. Number 4. Berry College. Berry College in Mount Berry, Georgia, is famous for its breathtaking Gothic architecture, sprawling forests, and historic stone buildings. Its grand halls and wooded landscapes have attracted filmmakers for decades, making it one of the most cinematic campuses in America. Movies such as Sweet Home Alabama, Remember the Titans, and Constantine were shot here, using its timeless beauty as a backdrop. But beneath the college's charm lies something darker. Berry is also considered one of the most haunted film locations in Georgia, and the chilling encounters experienced by actors, directors, and crew prove that this campus is alive with more than just history. The most infamous legend is that of the Green Lady, a ghost said to wander the wooded trails around the campus. During the filming of Sweet Home Alabama, An extra swore she saw a glowing female figure drifting among the trees as the crew packed up. Thinking it was a lighting trick, she ignored it until the figure came closer, her face pale and eyeless. The woman fainted and production had to pause until she recovered. On the set of Remember the Titans, several cast members noticed strange malfunctions in the historic buildings used for filming. Doors would slam shut with no breeze, lights flickered uncontrollably, and eerie whispers echoed through the empty halls. One actor admitted that during an emotional rehearsal, he felt as though unseen hands were pressing down on his shoulders, making it nearly impossible to move. He later joked that the ghosts of Barry were tougher critics than the director himself. A terrifying incident occurred during Constantine. A cameraman working in one of the stone chapels reported seeing a shadow figure glide past the altar. Believing it was another crew member, he called out, but the chapel was empty. Moments later, his equipment toppled over, as though shoved by an invisible force. Shaken, he refused to enter the chapel again. Other crew members have claimed to hear phantom footsteps echoing across the campus lawns late at night. One director said he felt watched constantly while filming an outdoor scene. When he reviewed the raw footage, a translucent figure could be seen standing in the distance behind the actors, watching silently before fading into the dark. Barry College may look like a storybook setting, but for those who film there, its legends and restless spirits make it unforgettable in a far more terrifying way. Beneath its beauty, Barry hides shadows that love the spotlight as much as the actors who come to perform. Number 5. Bonaventure Cemetery. Bonaventure Cemetery in Savannah, Georgia, is more than just a resting place. It is one of the most haunted film locations in America. Its moss-draped oak trees, cracked statues, and eerily quiet pathways have made it a backdrop for movies like Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil and several chilling documentaries. Filmmakers often choose Bonaventure for its gothic atmosphere, but behind the beauty lies a sinister presence that has terrified actors, directors, and crew members for decades. During the filming of Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, actors reported feeling sudden icy touches on their arms and backs, though no one was near them. A cameraman claimed he saw a young girl in a white dress running through the graves at night, only for her to vanish when he followed. Many believe this was the spirit of Gracie Watson, a 6-year-old buried here, who is said to still haunt the cemetery, her statue coming to life in the dead of night. Other actors working on smaller horror projects described hearing faint whispers calling their names. A leading actress once screamed mid-scene, insisting a cold hand had grabbed her ankle beneath her dress. When crew members rushed to help, they found no one there, only the disturbed dirt around an old grave. The director of another independent horror film confessed that he refused to return after hearing growls echo through the cemetery shadows, though no animals were found inside. Perhaps the most terrifying encounter came when a group of crew members saw what looked like glowing eyes peering at them from the trees. They assumed it was wildlife, until the eyes floated closer and then vanished into thin air. That night, their sound equipment malfunctioned, and every recorded take was filled with eerie static, as if the dead were trying to speak through their machines. Bonaventure Cemetery is beautiful but cursed, a place where every filming attempt becomes an encounter with the restless dead. To this day, actors and filmmakers whisper that shooting here is not just risky, it is like stepping into another world, one ruled by spirits who refuse to be forgotten. Number 6. Old Governor's Mansion. The Old Governor's Mansion in Milledgeville, Georgia, is one of the state's most chilling film locations, a grand Greek revival building that hides centuries of dark secrets. Built in the 1830s, it once housed governors and Civil War leaders, but today it is remembered for its ghostly energy. Its haunting beauty made it a choice setting for films like The Vampire Diaries. Several scenes were shot around the mansion, as well as historical dramas and paranormal documentaries. Yet every film crew that sets foot here carries away stories of fear they never forget. During one historical film project, an actress swore she saw a woman in a hoop skirt watching her from an upstairs window. When she rushed inside to confront who she thought was an extra, the room was empty and icy cold. Crew members confirmed no one had been in the building at the time. Many believe this figure is the spirit of a governor's wife, forever trapped in the house. One actor working on a supernatural documentary experienced a terrifying event while rehearsing his lines. He suddenly froze, his face pale, insisting a man in Confederate uniform had walked straight past him through a wall. Later, he described the man's piercing eyes and faint smell of gunpowder. The director captured the moment on camera, though the uniformed figure appeared only as a shadowy blur. Film technicians have also faced unexplainable horrors. Lights have flickered violently, cameras drained of battery within minutes, and once, a boom microphone picked up what sounded like a child's laughter in an otherwise silent room. The sound engineer replayed it repeatedly in terror, realizing no children had been allowed on set. Perhaps the most chilling story comes from a horror short filmed in the mansion cellar. While filming a candlelit sequence, the actress screamed in terror, not because of the script, but because unseen hands pulled her hair. Crew members rushed to her aid, but the footage later revealed something worse. Her shadow was moving separately, swaying unnaturally as if another presence stood behind her. The old governor's mansion is no ordinary filming site. It is a place where history bleeds into the present. Its walls seem alive with restless spirits, governors, soldiers, and families long gone who refuse to be silent. For actors and directors, shooting here is more than a creative challenge. It is stepping into a haunted time capsule where the dead demand to be remembered. Number 7. Madison Morgan Cultural Center. The Madison Morgan Cultural Center in Madison, Georgia, is one of the most breathtaking yet haunted film locations in the South. Built in 1895 as a Romanesque revival school building, its towering arches and echoing halls make it a perfect cinematic backdrop. Over the years, it has appeared in films like Go Tell It on the Mountain, Southern Gothic, and was even featured in episodes of The Vampire Diaries. While its beauty attracts directors, its sinister history ensures that actors and crew never leave without a chilling tale. During the shooting of a historical drama, an actress practicing her lines in the old auditorium suddenly froze. She claimed she saw a woman in a Victorian dress standing by the balcony, watching her intently. When crew members looked, the balcony was completely empty, yet a faint perfume of lavender lingered in the air. The actress later refused to film alone in the building, convinced the woman's ghost was following her. One director filming a Gothic horror scene described his own frightening encounter. While setting up a shot in the grand hallway, he saw a shadow moving across the wall as if someone was walking with a lantern. Thinking it was a stagehand, he shouted, only to realize no one else was in the building. The lantern-like glow continued for a few seconds before fading into nothing. Cameramen often report strange malfunctions here. Batteries drain within minutes, lenses fog up without explanation, and once a camera recorded what looked like a pale face peering through a locked classroom door. The actor reviewing the footage went pale. He had been standing directly in front of that same door and swore no one was behind it. Perhaps the most terrifying story happened during the filming of a ghost documentary. The crew had set up in the basement, a place already notorious for its damp and eerie atmosphere. While recording, a sound technician captured the faint whisper of children reciting lessons as though an invisible classroom were still in session. The whispers grew louder until one chilling word was heard clearly: leave. Moments later, every light in the basement blew out, leaving the crew in total darkness. The Madison Morgan Cultural Center is not just a monument to education and Southern heritage. It is a vessel for spirits who never left. Whether they are former students, teachers, or lost souls drawn to the building's energy, their presence is undeniable. Actors, directors, and crew members all agree, filming here is not just art, it is survival in the company of the dead. Number 8. Fort McAllister. Fort McAllister in Richmond Hill, Georgia, is a film location unlike any other, a Civil War fortress where time seems frozen, but the dead still whisper. Surrounded by marshlands and Spanish moss, the fort's earthworks and tunnels have been used in films such as Glory 1989 and multiple Civil War documentaries. Filmmakers are drawn to its preserved authenticity, yet many actors and crew leave shaken, convinced they brushed against the restless soldiers who perished here. During the filming of Glory, extras dressed as Union soldiers rehearsed near the powder magazine when one suddenly screamed. He claimed a man in a Confederate uniform, covered in blood, had walked right past him and vanished into the wall. The director dismissed it at first, but later that night, crew members reported hearing phantom cannon fire echoing across the marsh, even though no reenactments were happening. An actress working on a historical series had her own terrifying moment inside the underground tunnels. As she walked into the damp darkness, she felt ice-cold fingers brush against her arm. She thought it was a prank, but when she turned, no one was behind her. The terror left her trembling so badly that filming had to be paused for hours. Technicians have faced just as much fear. Cameras frequently malfunction at the fort, especially near the old hospital site. Once, during a night shoot, the camera lens fogged and displayed a smoky blur. When reviewed, the footage showed faint figures moving in formation, like ghostly soldiers preparing for battle. The director was so disturbed that he refused to film in that spot again. One of the scariest stories involves a sound engineer who was recording ambient noises for a documentary. His microphone picked up the sound of groaning men and clashing steel, though the fort was completely empty. When the audio was played back for the crew, one voice stood out clearly. It whispered the word retreat. The engineer quit the project the next day, too shaken to return. Fort McAllister may be preserved as a historic site, but for those who filmed there, it is a place where the past refuses to die. Soldiers who fought and fell within its walls seem determined to make themselves known, replaying their agony for every visitor. Actors, directors, and crew alike leave with stories that blur the line between history and haunting, making the fort one of Georgia's most terrifying film locations.